Hello everybody, my name's Justin Goldstine. Hope y'all can hear me in the back. Anyway, I wanted to present to y'all today my project, which I call FanSwarm. Essentially, a couple problems that I experienced and what brought me here today. Really, I'm interested in technology, always have been, but I don't know how this stuff works. And frankly, before I started this, I didn't know how to code. And when I say I didn't know how to code, I literally did not know anything. I really even how to type hello world. However, what I also saw is a need in the marketplace. A problem that I see is that there's a lot of sports fans in this world, myself included. I'm sure a lot of you as well. But a lot of people do not live where their sports teams play, and that becomes difficult when you want to watch a game with other fans. Chicago also has a lot of transplants, myself included. I am born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. I'm a big San Antonio Spurs fan, but there's not a lot of us up here. And so I want to watch games with them, and my wife does not ever want to watch with me. So what have I wanted to do? I wanted to build FanSwarm. FanSwarm is a web app that strives to connect like-minded sports fans with one another so they can watch sports together at bars, restaurants, somebody's apartment, wherever. Well, that was a problem because, as I said before, I didn't know how to code. So before I found out about ChiPy, I went online and found Coursera, Python for everybody, and that taught me the basics of Python. I then started to play around between Flask and Django. None of this really made a whole lot of sense to me, but luckily I found ChiPy, where I was able to join the mentorship program. Shout out to Heather, who unfortunately I don't think was able to show up here tonight. But then from there was able to start building FanSwarm. As you can imagine, with somebody who didn't really understand any of this, really going in and creating kind of the framework of how this was all going to work was very daunting at first. Additionally, going in there and building some databases where you're getting a whole lot of data in a whole lot of places and tying it all together was very difficult as well. But ultimately, I was able to then build a Django-based web app that, again, strives to connect all of these fans together. I have a lot of slides, but I'm actually going to dive out of this, and hopefully, this works as I fire it all up. As you can see here, it's your basic Django web app that you can then sign into. So essentially, you can come in here. A sports fan can come in and edit their profile, deciding what sports teams they like. Had to learn a little bit of some jQuery in order to make these things cool, where it will change based on the league that you have. But then ultimately, the crux of the platform is that you can come in here, and as a sports fan, I could see all of the different events that are happening in my area. And then if I was interested in watching the Cubs play the Cardinals tomorrow night, I could see here that a bunch of people, or at least one guy, is getting together over at Benchmark in Old Town to watch that game. And as a fellow Cubs fan, or at least as a pretend Cubs fan in this instance, I can then RSVP to come to this event. But then likewise, also eventually go. Michael hasn't filled out his profile, but I can see the different people that are going to be watching that event and can ultimately decide on going and checking that out. And so, really, it's not a very complex app, but it was something that helped me to really learn the basics of Python. Struggled a lot with building databases and Postgres in general, but have put this together and ultimately hope that you at least enjoyed hearing a quick spiel about this app. So thank you.